And we're back. Tyler and I doing double duty today, breaking down the NFL first and now the National Basketball Association. If you missed our NFL show, it's up on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel, which hopefully you're subscribed to. If not, fix that right now. Subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and away we go on the NBA Rundown, brought to you by Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Best. I'm your host, Astaire, joined again on Friday by Tyler and AP. AP, we've been loving the overs this season. Remember last year, everything was going under to start the year because they had the rule change. This year, the rule change has facilitated more scoring as there's no take fouls, and these totals are flying through the roof. How have you enjoyed the National Basketball Association so far, AP?
Yeah, no take fouls. We got lazy defense too. It's nice, for these overs. So, there are some teams like that. I've been really surprised about defensively, like the Wizards. When you look at that team, kind of on paper, a bunch of offensive dudes historically, but they're actually playing pretty good defense right now relative to where everyone else is at, in the league. And that was something that I was not expecting. But elsewise, man, yeah, a lot of overs, a lot of games that have been very attractive for DFS purposes. And we got a lot of good opportunities tonight too.
Yeah, and Tyler, it's been a busy time for us over at the bedside. I've been working morning to night, get up about 6 or 7, grind, take a quick break in the afternoon, get my quick workout in, and then I feel like I'm going to about 9 at night. But it's been worth it because we've been giving out winning picks. Once again, went 2-0 yesterday on our best bets that we gave out here on the NBA Rundown, and we're looking to do that again. What were your thoughts on the slate last night? We got 2 winners home. That Mavericks one, boy, it was a sweat, but we got there. What'd you think of last night?
Yeah, I mean, Nets played a little tougher than I thought they would on that back-to-back. They fought. They got it into overtime, but Luka got the job done for us there. And then Miami actually fought a little harder than I expected to spread, and it took till the fourth quarter before the Warriors finally opened that one up. And then,
but on that Miami game, didn't you feel like we had handicapped it perfectly? Because didn't it feel like that Miami actually as a team was competing with the Golden State Warriors and they ran out of gas? And we had said we're going to target – we're going to fade these teams. They have all this travel, even though it's early in the season. Honestly, that one felt good the way it played out because it felt like, hey, if you watch the rundown, that's exactly how the game played out.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I just think they fought, for me personally, I think they fought a little longer than I wanted them to. But
yeah, I mean, it was stressful, but did you see the jumpers were going short at the end, a little bit more tired on defense. They were kind of giving those lazy switches, allowing Curry to attack Hero. And that was just too easy for him. I mean, come on. Curry can beat the best defenders, and now you got Tyler Hero in front of him.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, the games were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, real quick, like last night, like how about Kyrie Irving? I think without him last night, that game's a blowout. Like I think the Mavs absolutely dust them. Kyrie looked incredible. And like it's a different Kyrie. I don't know. Like the last few games, he's just like, man, he's really brought it. His game looks good. What he's saying looks good. I've been really impressed with what I'm seeing with Kyrie.
Yeah, the problem is they've kind of gutted that core there around this team. It's almost like the Lakers are this top-heavy team, and they don't have the supporting cast. The loss of Bruce Brown is really, I think, hovering over that team. I don't see why they couldn't have used him and Simmons at the same time.
Yeah, but they'll get Curry back, and then Joe Harris, too. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine. It's just it's like Ben Simmons is – like, what are they going to do with him? Like, he didn't even look that good defensively. Airballing layups.
He did get a big steal.
Really yeah, I mean, everyone is overblowing that. That, like, literally fell into his lap, I feel like.
Yeah, I
know.
Huh?
I feel like, if anything, Royce O'Neal – there was a lot of times last night they were putting Royce O'Neal on Luka, over Ben, like, late. Because Luka was absolutely cooking Ben Simmons there for a little bit. But I don't know. It was a fun game to watch for sure.
Yeah, and then of course the Kings. I mean, what a surprise! You have a center, the worst defensive center in the league, as your rim protector, and you give up 94 points through 3 quarters. Same old story out here in Sacramento. So that's disappointing from a DFS perspective, right? Keep targeting those games because Kings are putting up points and they're giving up even more. Let's jump into today's slate. Oh, I still got the NFL up. Let me switch here to the National Basketball Association. I'm taking these lines off Bookmaker. They're a little different than your legal book. That's why Bookmaker, to me, probably the sharpest offshore book because they don't limit players or they don't ban players. They will limit, but it's much harder to get limited on bookmaker than, say, Bovada or Bet Online. So I think that their numbers are the sharpest when it comes to the offshore community. We're going to start with the Atlanta Hawks, who are -6 in Detroit, taking on the Pistons, total 229.5 plus 188. If you like the Pistons on the money line. Now, Tyler, last year the Pistons were pretty good against the spread at home. Do you expect that trend to continue this year?
Yeah, I mean, in this spot here, they're going to be missing Ivy. I'm not really going to back the trend from last year. He's listed questionable right now, so we'll see if he's out for this game. They just played this matchup a few days ago. Atlanta won by 5. Cade looked pretty good because he got the extra uses because Ivy also missed that game. Yeah. John Collins went for 19 and 11. Trae Young went for 35 and 6, but he only made 5 field goals. So he did a lot of that from the free throw line. If his shot's hitting, he could easily blow this team out. So I'm going to side with Atlanta here. I think they cover the 6 this time around. They get the job done. Don't hate hitting a Collins double-double again because I think he has his way with his front court.
All right. My guy DJ in the chat. DJ, I'm running late today. I haven't even run my numbers yet. So, you got me with that crack yesterday, and I can't fall back on him today. But AP, Tyler brings up a great point. With Ivy out of the lineup, Cade Cunningham usage just skyrockets here. Got to think we have to be interested in how are you approaching this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that, I don't think that makes this Detroit team any better. I think Jaden Ivey is a guy they need in their playing, even though from a DFS standpoint, that's going to take away from what Cade delivers. So he's questionable. Got to think he plays, and if he plays, I like the Pistons to keep this one close, covering the spread here at home. I mean, the game was really close last time without Ivy. In Detroit, we know they play tough at home. The one thing Detroit is athletic. And so some of these guys, and then if Bojan is hitting shots, they're going to be live here, you would think. So I like the Pistons. If Ivy's in, I like them as covering the spread. And then Cade, obviously, if Ivy's out, we can go to. But if he's in, I don't have a ton of interest in this game. Collins, 7K. If you want in tournaments, I think, I wouldn't talk anyone off of that. It's just so much usage to go around. So many mouths to feed on the Hawks side. So I'll probably be off this game depending on what the news is.
All right. And Tyler likes the Hawks to go ahead and cover that game. Tyler, do you have any props here?
Just the Collins double-double and maybe a Trae Young points plus assists would be the ones I'd target here.
All right. On that Atlanta side, with DeJounte Murray in there, how's that approaching when you're building the lineups, AP? Has he lessened your interest in both those players? I mean, they're both usage monsters last year. Now they're sharing a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with playing them, in my opinion, is they take from each other's ceilings. I think they're still going to give you a nice floor. But on a slate like this, there's going to be better plays. So we need their price to come down, in my opinion. So 9.8 for Trae Young, I'm not going to go there. 9.5 for DeJounte Murray, not going to go there. You could play, large field stuff, maybe you could. I'm not seeing it too much, too many mouths to feed on that offense right now.
All right, there you have it for our first game of the night. Let's head over to Orlando, where the Magic are hosting the Charlotte Hornets. Magic +2 at home on a total of 221.5. Paulo Banchero lead for Rookie of the Year. Tyler, do you think he can get it done at home against the Charlotte team that, I'll be honest, has exceeded expectations, right? No Miles Bridges. He was a big part of that team's defense last year. And then, of course, they're missing LaMelo Ball. The team's still putting up a fight here. Hornets look okay. Maybe there's a coaching improvement with Steve Clifford there. How do you approach this one, Tyler?
Yeah, looking at this game, Orlando's still fighting for that first win this year. Charlotte's came off that OT loss to the Knicks the other day where they fought back, got that game to OT, and then they finally lost it. I'm going to have to side with Orlando here, spread. At the plus money, at home, I think they have the best player on the floor in Paulo. I think he's better than anybody Charlotte's sending out there.
Really?
Yeah. He's better than him on the other side.
Gordon
PJ
Hayward
Washington.
Haircut?
No, he stinks now. He's washed. So give me Paulo here. Give me the Magic at the plus money. Also, Charlotte they shot the lights out in that game against the Knicks. They shot 50% from the field, 40% from three. I don't see that happening again here. Give me Orlando. They pick up the win here.
AP, how are you approaching this one?
Yeah, I like what I'm hearing right there because this is this is like a what do they call it? Generational opportunity right here tonight to make money in backing the Orlando Magic, getting their first win at home against a very overrated Charlotte team. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see Orlando play big. We're going to see Point Paulo tonight. We're going to see a big lineup. They're athletic. They're nasty. Like this second unit, when you watch that game against the Knicks, this second unit was fun, man. With Paulo in there, with Bull looked good. Like he looked really good. So, man, I hope they go all big. Kevin O'Hare, he's 3K. He's not going to do anything. Trust me. The dude's going to run wind sprints. He's going to literally maybe bring the ball up and then hand it to Paulo. He's not going to be a factor at all in the offense. Same with Caleb Houston, another guy that's popping in projections. Don't play these guys. They're 3K. Don't play them. They're not going to do shit tonight. Play Paulo. Play Franz Wagner. I'm never on Franz Wagner at all. I'm never on him. Tonight is the night to play him. Play Wendell Carter. Play Bull in tournaments. I think they go big. I think they smash them. Don't play RJ Hampton. The dude sucks. I liked him when he was in Denver. Something happened. He just hasn't been good. We should see a tight rotation. We should see the best players play tonight. We should see Paulo run the offense, and he's going to get them a win. I think they win. I mean, it's going to be a competitive back-and-forth game. I see this game going well over the total, though. I think we get into like the 230s plus tonight. This is going to be a game that I'm very high on in DFS formats. And take the money line and take the points, lock it in.
I'd love to hear you coming in here taking a stand here. We love that. And you like the Orlando Magic to get their first win. Tyler, was there any props in this one?
Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting on a lot of this stuff to come out. There's really nothing.
I know they're so late now, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I found the Paulo number on FanDuel 23.5. It's a little raised up from where we were getting it before. He has cleared 20 in all of his games, and he does have a very good matchup here. So I don't hate it, but let's see if we can find a performance double where him to score, say, 25 plus points. So we just up it by 2 points and Orlando wins plus 285. That'd be a better way I approach that.
I don't understand what the weight is on these. We know LaMelo Ball's out. We know Markelle Fultz is out. We know Suggs is out. We know Mo Wagner's out. Wagner. Cody Martin and Terry Rozier, doubtful. I mean, really, we can't put up props because of Terry Rozier. Okay, guys. But anyways, gives me an opportunity to tell you to become a member of RunPureSports.com.
Think about what this team can do. Like Wendell Carter can play. He can play the 5. He can play the 4. Paulo, we saw it in Summer League. He was running point. Wagner can do whatever. Then you got Terrence Ross, who he's like their 30-year-old vet. He's actually been shooting a little bit better, but he can play whatever role. They could run, like realistically, you could see some really interesting lineups here that are very athletic, very long, very big, that could be an absolute headache on opposing teams. And I think we're going to see it tonight against Charlotte. I'm very confident in this pick tonight.
The other thing too, just to help back that pick, this Orlando team talked all before the season started about how they wanted to surprise people, how they thought they could make the playoffs. Now they start slow. They are motivated more than ever to get a win. And now we're getting a plus money. I think it's the perfect spot.
All right. And of course, when those props do come out, the members of Run Pure Sports will have them. Tyler will have them in the Discord. And of course, on the new NBA betting playbook. Guys, if you're a member and you haven't checked out the playbook, I don't know what you're doing. I drop the link in the Discord every day when the projections are up there. So go ahead and check that out. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's move on to the Philadelphia 76ers, who are +2 in Toronto, taking on the Raptors, total of 213. Tyler, these games are tricky, right? Because they're running back-to-back in the same city. The Toronto Raptors won 119-109 when they played on Wednesday night. They've had a couple days to rest, recover. Last year, the zigzags seemed to work here pretty well. We kind of like the Sixers in the first one. Do we go back to them here, or did you see something in that first game that makes you say, hey, not so fast, the Sixers team isn't ready to compete?
There was no we in that first game spread because my best bet that day was Raptors money line, and we got that home.
You're right. I like the Sixers, and you went against it, but I didn't bet against you. Okay, you're right. Excuse me. So sorry for that.
It's the game where you have to go to Travis's favorite saying, wait for the news, because Joel Embiid's questionable with a right knee.
They're not going to sit him out tonight, are they?
They easily could. I mean, the line's already
Wow.
got back to -2. They were +2 in the game before. So I think it's
Wow.
shaded towards he's going to sit. That was the one guy they had an advantage with on the floor. James Harden didn't look all that good against Toronto. They can throw multiple bodies at him. Maxey put together a good game, but they kind of just were like, we'll stop everyone else and let you do your thing. You're not going to beat us by yourself. So give me Toronto here again, spread. They're going to win this game by at least 5 at -2. I'd rather have them at an underdog, but I'll take it here. Get it before the Embiid news because it's going to drop to like -5.
Boy, if Embiid's out, that's going to change the slate drastically. AP, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good approach. Take the Raptors right now. I'm very confident Embiid sits. They're on the front end of the back-to-back. They get Chicago tomorrow. And it kind of makes sense. If you're sitting him on a back-to-back, you want Embiid against Chicago. I think they can definitely beat the Bulls. The Bulls are a bigger team. I think you can, I think you could maybe be somewhat competitive running a small lineup against this Raptors team. The other thing too is like DFS wise, Siakam, what a year he's having. He's been incredible so far. And man, he becomes an even better play without Embiid in there. He got there even like going up against Embiid. But the one thing we do like about the Raptors, tight rotation. That's something we can definitely rely on. My last comment, DFS wise, like Harden, his numbers look phenomenal when Embiid's out, obviously, but if you just think about what the Raptors want to do defensively, I think they go right back to what they did before. They throw the sink at Harden, make Maxey beat you, and like if it worked last time, why change? So I would be, I'm kind of torn on Harden because I like some of those other plays so much more today. I think this game can get ugly too without Embiid in there. So I'm not gonna if Embiid does sit, I don't think I'm going to rush to over project a lot of these guys. I'm going to give Harden a fair projection. I'm going to give Maxey maybe a little bit of a bump. The role players, though, we could see them go many different ways. I don't trust Montrezl Harrell at all. We could see them run small with Niang, trying to hit threes. You could see them run even smaller with Melton and put PJ Tucker at the 5. We've seen that on many different teams, and it's been a successful strategy. So there's lots of things Philly could do with this rotation. So I think from a DFS standpoint, it's going to be they also got Paul Reed too. They could throw in there. Not a guy that we want to play in DFS formats. So whatever guy gets gets thrown in as the guy who's starting, that the sites are going to over project, I would not rush to play that person because most likely that play is not going to be a good play tonight.
That's a good way to get different too. Tyler, anything more from this one before we move on?
That's pretty much it for me on this one. Everything else, you're going to have to wait for the news on this one to see if we decide to get in on anything.
Yeah, those props are going to be later. But, of course, make sure you're checking out the NBA Bets playbook. And, of course, Tyler will put the plays in the Discord as these numbers begin to populate. I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. This is fun, and I'm surprised this line is so big. The Cleveland Cavaliers are +6.5 in Boston, taking on the Celtics. Total of 219. Boston's been good, but they haven't been necessarily that good against the spread. They're 2-5 ATS in their last 7. They are 6-0 straight up against Cleveland at home. So Cleveland hasn't won there for a couple of seasons. Do you think that this line is right, Tyler? I mean, I like DJ say, "Oh, your numbers." I haven't run the numbers yet, but my guess is that it's going to come in closer than 6.5. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just it's a rough game all around. Cleveland has the advantage on the inside with the bigs. Mm-hmm. Boston clearly has the advantage everywhere else with the guards, with the wings. Brown and Smart are in a great spot because LeVert's one of the better defenders on that team. He's not a great defender, but it's probably going to be the guy chasing around Tatum. I still think Tatum has his way, but those two guys could easily light up guys like Dean Wade and Donovan Mitchell. So I could see this Boston team running away with this, but the size down low, I don't think they're going to be able to unless they're shooting very well from 3. I'm going to stay away from the side here spread. You got the big defense on Cleveland that can keep you away from the hoop. You got the perimeter defense on Boston. Just give me the under.
All right. Yeah, you like the under. And, hey, the total's gone under in 4 of the last 5 games where these teams have faced off. AP, how are you approaching this one?
Yeah, so I like the Celtics here. I mean, it is a tougher spread, a larger spread there, which does bring some risk into play. But I just like Boston at home. Their starting core is just so complete. Man, such a good team, and like coming on, like such a good bounce back spot too, coming off again off that loss against the Bulls a couple days ago. So I like them to bounce back. And then DFS wise, it's just for me, Tatum or Brown, one or the other is fine. Tatum's been phenomenal this year. I do think it's a potentially tougher matchup for him, but I still think he's going to get whatever he wants. So it comes down to him. If he's hitting those outside shots, if he's making those threes, he could have a really big night tonight. So, and then on the Cavs side, man, I just Evan Mobley, I think is interesting just because he's cheap. He's 6.1K. If he landed in my lineup, I would not have a problem with it. Outside of that, I don't think I'm going to play Jared Allen, Karis LeVert. I don't have a lot of interest in. Donnie Mitch, I mean, 9.2K. The price is up there. The matchup is tougher. We know it's going to be a competitive game. He is getting all the usage right now. So I don't hate it in tournaments. I definitely don't hate it. I don't think projections are going to be too high on him. So he would be another guy I would look at. But yeah, he's going to be really low on tonight. And he's shown 57 upside, 56, and then a rough one against Orlando. So for him, it comes down to making shots too.
I mean, if you're playing NBA DFS this season, I mean, that Tatum Brown, right? It's almost like the chicken or the egg. It's the question we're going to have to ask ourselves every single night. Tyler, have you looked at some props here?
This one, I'm probably going to stay away from props. I mean, maybe if you play some 3-point shooters in this one over their threes, but just give me the under in this one spread. I can see this being straight defense here.
All right. Tyler likes under 219. Let's move on to the Indiana Pacers, who are now catching 5.5 against the Wizards. This was 5 earlier today on a total of 229. This Washington Wizards team, a bunch of veterans, they're trying to win now. They're trying to compete. And most of these players, I've said it before on the show, but they're at their ceiling. So you're getting the best. Now you're going against a team that's completely developmental. They got some great young talent, especially out there on the wings. You have to like Halliburton. Always big on Chris Duarte, even though he hasn't played as well this year. And it sounds like they've hit a home run at that draft pick of Benedict Mathurin. Miles Turner finally made his return to the team, boosted up that defense a bit, Tyler. But we kind of like the Wizards this year, especially at home. I would have rather had it at 5. Maybe I should have got a little bit early. Of course, we were talking some NFL while that line moved. But what do you think here when the Wizards and the Pacers square up?
Yeah, I like the Wizards here. I don't trust this Pacers team to win games. They'll run the score up, but they just don't win games. They've been outscored by double digits in every first quarter this year, so don't hate maybe getting into a Washington first quarter. I think Kuzma's in a great spot to have another big game. The total's at 228.5, I see on the screen, so give me the over there. I think they get into the 230s. Kuzma, big game. Halliburton should have a solid game. Just give me Washington to win this game spread. I don't think Porzingis has as good as a game as he did in the first matchup with Turner back either.
Yeah, we'll see how that affects him. Trends like your total there. Total's gone over in 9 of Indiana's last 12 games and gone over in 7 of the last 9 times that these two teams have played. AP, Friday night over. Is it looking that way? What are you thinking?
I mean, we said it at the start, like this is the one team that I was surprised defensively how they look. And I think you alluded to it in that, look, it's all veterans. They know if they want to play defense and lock down, they have that ability. I also think the Wizards are a team. We know what they are. I think they're going to be a team that beats up on bad teams, but a team that also loses to the best teams. I think that's what their identity is going to be. DFS-wise, no DeLon Wright. He's going to be out. So maybe we see a tighter rotation. I know people are talking about Monty Morris. He's 5'5". I don't really like it. If anything, I'd go right back to Kyle Kuzma. This dude is, I mean, man, his offensive usage rate's been incredible. 17 shots in 27 minutes against Detroit. He can get rebounds. We can always rely on him to get crash the boards. And he had a first go around against this team. He put up 47 DK points. So if it stays somewhat close, we know the upside is there. And then, Halliburton, you could run it back with Halliburton. I have no problem with that. The dude is absolutely a stud. So that's kind of where I would be at for this game. Miles Turner, if we knew he was going to get full run, you could look at him. I don't trust his rotation. I don't trust the minutes. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on what we could see rotation-wise from Miles Turner?
My guess is somewhere like 20 to 25 minutes. I don't think you get 30 out
so
of
yeah,
him.
he's not. Yeah, we're not playing.
I don't think he's a DFS option at all, but I think he does help Indiana a lot for those minutes he's out there.
Jalen
just
Smith
changing shots.
Yeah, the problem too with even Jalen Smith is not like we like the power forward spots loaded on the slate. So even he becomes kind of a fringe play.
All right, Tyler, any more thoughts on this one before we move on?
Oh, that's it for me on this game.
All right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, who have yet to win a game. Now they're catching 6.5 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves on a total of 230. Everybody said that Russ was the problem. Russ sat out, and the result was the same. This Los Angeles Lakers team, man, you look at LeBron, man, the guy's stat padding. There's no effort at all on the defensive end. He's saving it all for the offensive end. And I think when your team leader's doing that, it's really tough as a team here. Anthony Davis has been kind of wishy-washy. He does have some good games, gets some good numbers. But when you look at that box score and you watch the game, it seems like a lot of those stats that aren't really showing up is him really enforcing his will upon that game. Of course, the Timberwolves still figuring things out as they're integrating Gobert. Towns moved from center to power forward, which you think would be good, but they're still getting kind of mucked up on the offensive end. Of course, it's a work in progress, right? We're just a week and a half into the season. -6.5 for the Timberwolves here. Tyler, you know I love betting against the Lakers, but these lines are getting kind of high. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to bet against them here. I don't trust them to keep up with this Minnesota team, even though Minnesota's kind of piecing together things on the fly. Mm-hmm. They put it together against that Spurs team the other night. They beat up on them, and Edwards looked great. He's in a spot right here. I think he could go crazy in this matchup, put up 30 points. The big men down low should have their way. I seen Damian Jones was practicing with the starter, so they're probably going to start the double bigs tonight, especially against Rudy and Cat. I also seen Russ is probably coming off the bench unless AD misses this game. Then he gets inserted back into the starting lineup.
Is he on the lineup? Is he on the report too? You got to be kidding me with that guy.
Yeah, so there's a ton of news. You got to pay attention to this one, but I think Minnesota wins this game pretty easily.
All right, and AP, the Lakers are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against Minnesota, but I don't think Minnesota was laying that many points in any of the games. Probably catching some points in a lot of those for that trend. What are your thoughts here for AP?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Wolves, like defensively, all they have to do is play like a zone. Like don't allow any uncontested shots, inside the 3-point range, in the paint or whatever. And you're going to be sitting pretty. Like this team can't hit threes. They're just struggling. And you got the two towers and Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, to where if these guys get in the paint, they're going to have a hand right in their face. I don't see how the Lakers are going to score on this team. Tough spot. I think, I think they remain the team without a win on this year. And Russ is probable to play now. I think Anthony Davis plays. They need him to. They're not going to be competitive without him. Pat Bev has been terrible. Lonnie Walker has been okay, but it's like, what's it saying? If he's like one of their better players, it's not really saying too much. Their bench sucks. Kendrick Nunn looks lost. Troy Brown, it's just team's bad. They gotta fold it, figure something out. I got the Wolves here. I think the Lakers get absolutely smashed.
All right, I see my guy We the People in the chat. He hit again with the plays that he threw in the
clear
chat.
Under. I like under.
Double hit, and he liked the over. And I was gonna say clear under. We did have a trend there for the under. What was our trend? Total's gone under in 6 of Minnesota's last 7 games against
has to
the
for
Los
the
Angeles
Lakers too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's against the
just
Lakers.
when they matched up.
Lakers this year.
He likes D'Angelo Russell here. AP, what are you thinking about him for tonight?
No, yeah, you could go there, but I think we have safer plays for sure.
Okay. All right, you think that
it's just a lot of mouths to feed.
Well, there's the difference between props and
these
playing
guys
in your lineup too.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, he was saying that too, but a lot of times when we're talking overs on this show, my mind immediately gravitates to, hey, maybe should I put this guy in the lineup?
What's the Lakers going to do when Jalen Noel comes off the bench and lights them up? This dude's been playing out of his mind. The Lakers are going to get absolutely embarrassed tonight. That game's not on national TV, is it? They're going to get embarrassed.
That's
think about Pat Bev too. people are going to say Pat Bev for revenge. Are you kidding me? Like, if anything, for the Wolves, they're going to destroy this Lakers team tonight.
All right. So AP really likes the Lakers. I love that you're coming with the strong takes.
No. Wolves. I love the Wolves.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, you like
Lakers,
the T-Wolves. Yeah. But I love the strong takes. And let's see how that turns out. And I'll tell you what, as a Kings fan, I hope you're right, because the only joy we have in Sacramento is rooting against the Lakers, because our team is absolutely terrible. But Tyler, your team isn't that bad. The New York Knicks, they're +6 in Milwaukee, taking on the Bucks with a total of 223. The Knicks have been doing pretty good so far. Unfortunately, they didn't cover for you the other night, but they did get the win against the Charlotte Hornets. Now they face a much tougher team in this Milwaukee Bucks team that said, hey, Chris Middleton, we might need him in the playoffs, but not in the regular season. This team's look fantastic. Giannis has been absolutely going off. How do you expect Giannis and the Bucks to do, laying 6 at home against the New York Knicks?
I think Milwaukee smashes them here. I mean, the Knicks they got a nice record. They're 3-1. The 3 wins were Charlotte, Orlando, Detroit. Nobody in the realm. Nobody in the realm of this Milwaukee team.
Oh, Tyler. They only lost by what? 2 points, 2-3 points to Memphis? I mean, they played them tight. Yeah,
but do we really think Memphis is all that good? Because me and you sat here and talked down on them all in these previews.
That's true.
I don't.
Tyler's pulling receipts. I see how it's done.
I don't think that win even counts that much there, because it was Ja by himself. He had to shoot the ball like 30 times. So now they play a Milwaukee team, and New York's not playing any defense is what they used to do. So Giannis is going to have his way with this front court. He'll have Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble in less than 3 minutes. He'll be off the floor. Randall can't cover him. They have other guys they can throw at, Brunson, Barrett, and these other guys to slid on the Knicks. And I just think they're going to light this New York team up from 3. Milwaukee's going to blow this team out. Give me the -7. I think they win by double digits. Giannis goes for like 35 points.
Yeah, some interesting trends here, AP. New York 3-9 against the spread in their last 12 games against Milwaukee, but New York is 11-1 against the spread in their last 12 on the road. How are you approaching the Knicks and the Bucks?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to bet against Giannis. I mean, the guy is an absolute monster. I don't know, like Jalen, there's something about him. Like, he brings kind of like a winning mindset, winning mentality. You saw it in this last game too. I think this game ends up being closer than we all think. I think it ends up being a really fun one to watch as a fan. If they can get all the pieces going, like if Evan Fournier, if he could start hitting some shots, I mean, the Knicks could be a little bit better. I like Quickly off the bench too. RJ Barrett, he's going to play like 39, 40 minutes. And then it comes down to Randall. Like, if Randall if he doesn't have that open look, if he can distribute and play make, I think we see a competitive game here. So I'm going to actually take the Knicks. I don't think they upset them. I just think it stays really close and it's a battle till the end.
All right. We the People disagrees. Our guy, Lord King Guru, I like that. That's a good YouTube name. He says he likes Giannis under on points, rebounds.
I mean, okay. Let me bring up one point, because I see what Tyler's saying. I see what we the People saying. Why is the spread only 6 points? It seems trappy to me. It seems real trappy here.
All right. Bobby Portis getting talked about in the chat. What do you think?
Former team.
Do you like him tonight, AP? I know that we had some success putting him in our lineups last year. Bobby Portis.
He's coming off so I still worry about the rotation a little bit. The price is attractive, 5.5. He looked phenomenal against the Nets, and I don't know. That was a game where the pace was a little bit better, a little bit more opportunity. And that power forward position's loaded. So I don't know if I'm going to get there, but he will be low owned. It just the rotation is the main risk there.
All right. Any more thoughts on this game, Tyler, before we move on?
No, that's it for me on this one.
I think maybe I want it to be competitive, because if it stays close, Giannis is he's going to continue to smash. He's going to continue to put up like 70 every single night DFS wise. So as long as it stays close, because he's their main. I mean, he's all they got right now, pretty much. Not all they got, but they do need Chris Middleton back. Like, they haven't been shooting the 3 ball that good. They're pretty bad actually against the Nets. So,
you know what? For a team that gives Giannis that space, they don't convert on the 3-pointers that well. I think it gives any more credit to how good Giannis really is, because it's not like they've necessarily surrounded.
I'm with our guy, we the
shooters.
people on this.
What?
I think the points is just a trap for people to back the Knicks.
Okay.
Who's falling into that trap besides me? Even though I'm not betting it, I just say I think it's
a lot of guys. I think a lot of guys are because they just see it's like, oh, Milwaukee, they might lay a dud. Everyone has that. Everyone still pictures that New York upset win they had over Milwaukee like 2 years ago in Milwaukee, where they were like 14-point dogs. So like they could do it again. It's not happening here. This team, just like the Giants, they're a fraud. They're not.
Oh my gosh, Tyler! Don't travel to New York anytime soon.
I mean, I don't know, Jalen Brunson. Like, if they just let him run this offense, like I don't know, I think the Knicks could be decent. I will say that. I like Brunson, man. He adapts really well. Decent, I was really impressed with what I saw.
They're not on the same level as this Milwaukee team.
Well, no, I mean, I'm with you there. But it's regular season. Like, you see upsets. If they come to play.
Especially on Friday nights, right?
On Friday night, if they come to play and if they show up defensively, you can't tell me we don't see like a battle.
Oh, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
A battle, but they haven't showed up defensively all year. That's the thing I'm worried about too. Is like that defense doesn't show up. Giannis is gonna house them.
Yeah, and it's not showing up. Giannis is definitely gonna put up a big number again.
All right, can we afford to get Giannis in the lineup? Is there enough value on the slate tonight?
Yeah, there will be. There's definitely going to be some value opportunities. There's some trap value too. So I don't think we've gotten to the good value yet.
All right. Well, let's move on then, and we can find that good value here at runpuresports.com. Head on over, #join it. Utah Jazz the Chicago Bulls are -5 in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. Total of 231 for the Spurs game. Tyler, how do we approach the Spurs, man? How do we approach the Spurs? We thought that this team was going to be absolutely terrible. I don't know. They've shown some signs of life, and then they show some signs that they're absolutely terrible. I don't know what to make of this team. What do you think, Tyler?
Which one was this spread?
I'm sorry, I messed up on the intro, but we're doing Bulls and
I was about to say, you threw me a Spurs and then a Jazz. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think.
Yeah, I started with the Jazz and I realized I had skipped one on the rotation order. This Bulls game will start at 8:30 Eastern and the Jazz will start at 9. So
okay, so yeah, I like Chicago here. I mean, I guess you can call it a DeRozan revenge game. He did play for the Spurs. Yeah. There was never really any hate there though, so I could see the dude just kind of going out doing his thing, maybe getting some cheers, and then the crowd just lets him play his game.
I don't know though, because he kind of slandered San Antonio in his last interview.
Yeah, well, maybe he comes out and just houses them then. But looking at it, they're down Primo and Vassell, so those are big guys for the Spurs. Those are usage guys. That usage got to go somewhere else. Zach LaVine's also questionable. He might sit with a knee injury management. So you see that. DeRozan's even a better play here. They also play the back-to-back, so I could see him definitely sitting here, saving for the Philly game. Just back DeRozan and Vucevic here, and then they go out and get the win by about 6.
All right. He likes Chicago. What do you think, man? I always struggle to lay points on the road on a Friday night. I might stay away from the Bulls here. What do you think, AP?
Yeah, so we know that the Spurs are not going to do much defensively. We know they're going to play with some pace. And we also know that their rotations are a headache to figure out, to say the very least. And then we know Zach LaVine. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he rested. They should get the win. They could win this game with Vucevic, with DeRozan. I think they can win this game. Get Andre Drummond in there a little bit more. Get him working, running up and down. I think they could win with with a few pieces. Not giving it a full go against the Spurs team if they really try and gear up for their battle against Philly tomorrow. So I do think it makes sense for LaVine to rest tonight. So you got one reason why we came up with the heat map concept is to tackle these type of situations. You got to be able to look at the slate on a big picture basis to be able to adjust and adapt. We know there's good plays early on, but you got to have the foresight. What if Zach LaVine does rest? What does that do to the situation? Well, it makes DeMar DeRozan a phenomenal play. It makes Ayo DeSumo a very good play. It now brings Nikola Vucevic into play. And they're going to be very elite plays. I don't see how we get around DeMar. Absolute smash spot. Same with, Vucevic too. So and I mean, there's going to be some really, really good plays that could come from this game. Now, if Levine does play, too many mouths to feed, like we often say. So I'd be much less inclined to play this spot. And then the Spurs side, look, DraftKings, they price these guys up. I'm good with that. Trey Jones, too expensive. Josh Richardson, now 5'4". We don't have to play him. Keldon Johnson, 7'2", too expensive. Their rookie, who's 4.2K, I think he's bad value. I'm not going to go there. I saw the optimizers were liking him this morning. We've seen the crate, like Zach Collins could get in there. Doug McDermott could get in there. Isaiah Roby could work into the mix. So, I mean, who knows with Pop? Who knows with this rotation? I'm going to be completely off the Spurs today.
All right. Tyler, anything more on this one before we move on?
No, that's it for me on this game. We could jump to the next one.
All right. And if you want to see the heat map that AP referenced, of course, become a member at runpuresports.com. You'll have access to the core plays, the player pools, the NBA bets playbook, and, of course, the heat maps. AP does the DraftKings. And then, of course, we got our guy Glaucoma taking care of you for your FanDuel needs. The Utah Jazz. Now I got you, Tyler, talking about the Jazz. They're plus 8.5 playing the Denver Nuggets. Total of 230.5. We thought the Jazz were going to be terrible. They opened the season against the Nuggets at home, and they get the win, which started a nice little win streak for this team. Now Denver, you got to think, will have revenge on their mind. Something I didn't notice when I was looking up this game, or something that surprised me, I should say, is that Utah's actually won 6 in a row against Denver. What are your thoughts here on the Nuggets and the Jazz, Tyler? Do they break this streak tonight?
Yeah, I'm not sure they do. I mean, you look at this, Sexton's questionable, Walker Kessler's questionable on the Jazz side, but then you look at the other side, KCP, Michael Porter got ruled the probable, so he should play, which is a good sign for them. But I mean, this Jazz team, they look scrappy to start the year spread. The other thing too is like, we know Denver's known to lay eggs in these spots. They did it the first game of the year. The Jazz are going to come in scrappy and try and win this game. Give me the Jazz plus the points here. I think they keep it pretty close. I think this is one of them games where they're winning the game up until the fourth quarter, and then Denver steals it late and wins it by like 3.
Okay, so Tyler likes the Jazz plus the points. What do you think, AP?
Nah, I mean, I don't know. I think the Nuggets get it done here. MPJ coming off some rest. Jokic, I mean, man, they like coming off a nice game, just destroying the Lakers. I don't know. This Jazz, like, they're scrappy and they got pieces, but come on, man. Like Lauri Markkanen, Kelly Olynyk. Like, I mean, gosh, can these guys continue to be that efficient? I don't know. I'm not buying it. I like the Nuggets here. I'll just keep it short and simple. I don't think I'm going to be playing any pieces, though. I think the Nuggets, I think the Nuggets blow them out here in this spot tonight. So I'm going to be off this game fantasy-wise. I hope people keep playing Lauri Markkanen. He's now 7K, and what's crazy is now people will probably be off of him because the optimizers aren't going to like that price tag relative to where his projection's at. So, but yeah, I'm definitely not playing any pieces here.
All right, let's talk about the New Orleans Pelicans, our favorite when we did the NBA previews. And Tyler, they started off hot, but they have like a March level injury report, and it's still October. This is rough news here for our guys, the Pelicans. Let me go ahead and break this one down. Boy, talk about wait for the news. Jose Alvarado questionable. Herb Jones questionable. We know Brandon Ingram's going to be out. Zion's questionable. Dyson Daniels questionable. And CJ McCollum questionable. So I have, 6 guys on this report from the New Orleans side. And then over for Phoenix, we have Ish Wainwright doubtful. Whoop-de-doo. So Phoenix looking pretty close to full health. Pelicans team is already a mass unit. You know we love the Pelicans, but hey, what do we do without the news, and what are you kind of expecting from this team?
Yeah, I mean, they could put up a fight. They did look good against Dallas in that game when they were missing a ton of guys, but CJ was still there to run the offense. If he's not there and they're basically sending out a bunch of young guys, I don't trust this team. So I'm going to side with Phoenix here, but it's also waiting on the news. I don't think any of these guys play tonight. I think they sit them all. And maybe you see Alvarado play, but that's going to be the only guy. So Phoenix or no play for me here.
Yeah, I mean, AP, we love this team, and they're already beset with injuries. What do we do?
Yeah, I mean, the Suns, like, what I'm seeing in the Suns is they look to be like a really good regular season team. They're the Suns that we know. They're playing really good right now, some monster wins. I think you get a little, revenge here too. Actually, no. They that game went to 7, right? Everyone was talking about how if Zion was there, they would have won. I think the Suns put them away. And I think we see a couple pieces here sit. If it was full health on full health, I might have a different take, obviously, but you need Brandon Ingram in there. You need a healthy Pelicans team. So I like what I'm seeing from the Suns right now. Devin Booker, just incredible, man. His game looks really good right now. Ayton, he's actually playing pretty decent. Then Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges. Suns are a complete regular season team. So I think they get the win. And I'm going to be under on this game fantasy-wise too.
All right. Tyler, anything more on this one before we move on?
No, that's it for me on this game.
Let's talk about the Houston Rockets, who are +4 in Portland, taking on the Trailblazers. And Tyler, we've been doing pretty good on the NBA so far this season, but we did have a stroke of bad luck. We're hanging out in the Discord. I said, hey, Tyler, hey, I like the Blazers live here. I think they're going to come back against Miami. Remember, we did like Miami on the pregame thing, but rather than having to lay the couple of points, or no, we were there +125, but they're up to +177. Hey, this looks great. Put the bet in, feeling pretty good, thinking, hey, it's a tough trip for Miami. Portland could close this out, and Damian Lillard sprains his ankle. The team could not recover. Lillard, of course, will miss tonight, and from what I'm reading, it looks like he's going to be out 2 weeks. We still don't have GP2, no Trendon Watford, whoop-de-doo. On the Houston side, my guy Şengün up to probable, Kevin Porter's probable, and Ty Washington is out. This one is tough to cap. I think that Lillard meant so much to that team. Even if he wasn't as good, he kind of brought some leadership, kind of brought some swag to this Portland Trailblazers. On paper, you think they'd be able to absorb the loss because they have plenty of scorers, right? Jeremy Grant gets a little more usage. I'd love to see Anthony Simons get more usage as well, right? You think it's a great opportunity for him. And I'm really high on the Shade and Sharp. But I don't know. Can Portland do it without the leadership? The Rockets, we talked about the Magic being hungry for a win. Rockets got to be in that same category. We love those Rockets young players, but is this a good spot for them in Portland, in the Rose Garden, where that place gets crazy?
Yeah, I think so. I think they can pull off the win here. I mean, no Lillard. Maybe the superstar subtraction kicks in right here, and they ride Simons to a win. But I think Houston's going to run them up and down the floor. Portland will run with them. Definitely like the over here. I know AP's going to love that. And then I just think Houston could get the job done. Jalen Green could hang like a 30 ball here, and they could win this game. So, yeah, give me Houston on the money line here.
All right. Tyler does not think they can get it done without Dame. What do you think, AP?
Yeah, I mean, like this Houston team's fun to watch. Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, both dudes are just, man, they're ballers. They don't play any defense, though, and then the Rockets still don't play any defense. One thing that's kind of surprising, but when you think about it, it does make sense. That could change, though, tonight if we get Şengün in there, but they've been tough on opposing bigs, and part of the reason is because KPJ, Jalen Green are constantly just getting to the rim, getting these opposing bigs into foul trouble too. So because I want to like Nurkic here, but you got to think about the foul risk. This game could go small, but if Şengün is probable and playing, I actually like Nurkic quite a bit. I think Şengün's a guy we could attack, and you could play offensively. We know what he can do on the offensive side of the board. This is going to be a game that we want to have interest in DFS wise, and we want it to stay competitive. We want it to go over. Simons is an absolute beast, 7-1. He's a phenomenal play. Josh Hart is a phenomenal play. This dude is a rebounding machine, crashes the boards, and can help to facilitate the offense. I think he had 6 assists last game. Jeremy Grant, I'm torn on him. I don't know what I want to do there. And then you got to think spread. Your guy's Justice Winslow, right? Isn't that one of your guys?
He's not a bad player, and he's actually been playing pretty well defensively for this team. One thing I wanted to point out, though, you make a great point. If they are able to get Nurkic in foul trouble, backup center is a problem for Portland. They'll almost be forced to go small.
Yeah, and you can do that against the Rockets, though, because, the Rockets, I think the Rockets without Şengün in there would probably prefer to go small, too. Yeah. Jabari Smith.
That could be good for DFS, though, right? 2 small lineups running up and down the floor on a Friday night.
And I still, even though Şengün's probable, I don't think he's probably he hasn't been starting, so I wouldn't think that he gets a start. So, but yeah, Sharp, Hart, Simons, all very, very strong plays tonight.
All right, Tyler, any props from that game?
Not right now. Still waiting on some numbers to pop up on that one, with that being the late game. But definitely going to like some Jalen Green there.
All right. Check out runpuresports.com, the NBA bets playbook. Tyler's props will be up closer to game time. So there you have it. We've moved through the slate. We've broken down the games, but now it's time for the best bets. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will start with you, Tyler. What's your best bets for today? Side, total, or prop?
Yeah, I mean, tons of game on the board today. Let me scroll back up, see which one I'm going to side with. Give me Orlando. Give me Orlando's money line. I think they win that game outright. We're getting plus money on them.
There's nothing better than a home dog on a Friday night. So you like the Orlando Magic. You're not taking the +2. You're at the +109. AP, what's your best bet for today? Side, total, or prop?
Yeah, we got to double up today because that's my what do we call it? Generational bet.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic. So here, take the spread, money line. There's your two bets. Orlando Magic winning big tonight.
All right, the Run Pure team likes the Magic tonight. Hopefully, we can pull out some magic as well. I'm going to continue to fade this Pacers team with the Wizards team that, while I don't think they have much playoff potential, was going to be pretty good in the regular season, especially against young teams because they're running out a bunch of veterans. They have a pretty deep roster at forward. Those wings, I think they'll be able to use their size to their advantage. And I don't know how well Miles Turner is working with his new teammates. While these Wizards have seemed to find a little bit of continuity. They're playing well together. And like I said, it's just a group of veterans that's trying to win now. Whether or not that's a smart move when you're looking at this draft, we can talk about that at a different time. But for tonight, I do like the Washington Wizards -5.5. Tyler, we've been going through the slate, but have you been able to deal up a home run parlay?
I have not. They're going to have to wait until the Discord for that. I've been working on the playbook. And also, just like our guy Caesar said in the chat, they're hurtful with the likes. I don't think they deserve the parlay today. So
I don't have YouTube up. How many do we have right now?
Here, I can get it pulled up because I just pulled it off my phone. But
I mean, Hoop's messaging me telling me I shouldn't have given out the plays. What's going on here?
Let's see. We got 41 likes. Yeah, we can't do anything with that.
41 likes with 139 watching. Wow, that is kind of hurtful, Caesar. Boy, sometimes ignorance is bliss. I was sitting here thinking we had a great show, Caesar. Now you've opened my eyes to all the hopefulness. Guys, alleviate that before you get out of here, because here at Run Pure Sports, we're doing our best to bring you daily fantasy and sports gambling information every single day. We're honest. We're transparent. I didn't run my numbers yet, right? You'll get those numbers in the NBA Bets Playbook, but we're talking through these games, giving our best ideas, and, of course, giving love to people in the chat, especially we the people who loves to give out best bets in the chat. And he says his best bet tonight, remember, he's 1-0 on the year. He made his first appearance yesterday, gave out the Sabonis double-double. Tonight, he's going with Vukovic double-double and win against the San Antonio Spurs. So we appreciate everybody for joining us. I see my guy Robert here. What's up, my guy? Get those likes in. We appreciate it. AP, always love talking to you on a Friday. We continue to hit the overs. We continue to hit the winners, and the heat map continues to get better. Any words of wisdom for the people before we sign off and get ready for an exciting Friday night slate?
Yeah, make sure to catch the NBA Hardwood. I think we have a good lineup today. Draft Cheat, JT Hayes, and our boy C-Done, Chris Randone is going to be on that show. JSU, Big T will then take you up to lock. It's their show's going on basically all day today, because I believe they're doing the Print Factory 2, which is a members only show. So make sure you go. They're probably doing that here shortly, and then will be the Hardwood. So yeah, we got a lot of content coming out. A good NFL slate this week, a good NBA slate tonight. Make sure look at all the content, get in the Discord, and yeah, Run Pure.
All right, Caesar says, see you on the Hardwood. Run Pure.